Do you want to be better? Do you want to be better at this game? Is it time to get good? Well, then here's 10 tips and tricks that are going to help you get good at grounding. Some people might call this grinding, but since this is grounded, I like to call it grounding. So get out there and start grounding because you're going to need a lot of resources to keep all your gear in tip-top shape. And that's a shrunken survival pro tip, which enhances your survivability. And that's what you want to do as best you can in a survival game, especially this survival game, because there's freaking wolf spiders, man. They're after you.
Whoa, I'm not just small, I'm tiny. This is freaking awesome!
What up? It's Tiny Pirate Gaming, and in this video I'll be covering 10 tips and tricks for the Grounded Update 7.1 that recently was released. And with these tips and tricks, hopefully you'll be able to do all sorts of fun stuff. But before I get into it, I do want to mention that what came with the 7.1, the most notable change that you will notice while playing Grounded now will be the proximity repair. You not only can proximity craft, you can also proximity repair. And you can do all sorts of other fun stuff, so let's go ahead and let's get started. Number 10. Proximity crafting. Proximity crafting grants great advantages to you, especially if you lay out your storage area in a 9x9 square floor area. Because then, by standing in the middle, you will be able to connect to all of your chests, and you'll be able to spread your storage out and divide it up and keep it nice and organized so that you can just stand in the middle and craft whatever you need to craft. And if you build your workbench there, your workbench will connect to all of the boxes too. I did a few tests, and about a 9x9 square floor region is about as far as your proximity craft will go. Now, if you need to expand your storage, keep in mind that the half floors make great shelves. But if you're planning to put chests on top of those shelves, don't build a floor above it yet. Otherwise, the build mechanic will get a little bit weird on you, and it won't work in your favor. Number 9. So now it's going to take a lot of resources to repair your armors, to repair your tools, to repair your weapons, all that stuff. You're going to need a lot of resources, which means my next tip is to get out there, start exploring, and start farming. Get all the bug parts you can, get all the quartzite, get all the stuff, acorns, everything, spider chunks. Get out there, start farming. You're going to need all this stuff. Now, some people might call this grinding, but since this is grounded, I like to call it grounding. So get out there and start grounding because you're going to need a lot of resources to keep all your gear in tip-top shape. And that's a shrunken survival pro tip. Number 8. Now, when you are out grounding, make sure that you're taking advantage of the mutations because, like I said, the repair system now means you're going to use a lot of resources. So you want to maintain the durability of your tools and your armors and your weapons as long as possible so that you can accumulate the resources needed to repair them so that you won't be in dire straits with nothing to fix your stuff with and nothing to gather with. You don't want to be left like that. You want to make sure you got lots of stuff. But use your mutations when you're doing that. If you're out looking for clay or sap or quartzite or pebbles, use the rock cracker. And if you want to boost the rock cracker, use the smasher. But if you're out for acorns, you definitely want to use Smasher because it's going to let you crack them with one hit, assuming you've got it maxed out. And likewise, if you're chopping down grass or something, use the Grass Master and boost it with the chopper. That will give you a stronger axe attack, and you'll be able to chop down the grass in a single swing, and you might be able to chop down some other stuff with way less swings than it would normally take, which means you're saving durability on all your tools. So there you go. I hope that helps you out. And if that did help you out, you could help me out by smashing that like button. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. Bring in the numbers. Number 7. 3 times as much berry leather as you were able to get by crafting at the workbench. If you craft berry leather at the workbench, it will cost you 3 berry chunks to make 1 berry leather. But if you hang berry chunks on the jerky rack, you can get 1 berry leather for 1 berry chunk, which means you're going to get way more berry leather than you were able to get before. Exactly 3 times as much as you were able to get before. And you're going to need that berry leather to repair your armors now because, no more armor glue. Armor glue's gone. Number 6. I've mentioned this before in earlier tips and tricks videos, but I'm going to mention it again because it's very important, and that is to save up 5,000 raw science and buy the meat shield from the BURG.L bot. You go down to the Oak Lab and you visit BURG.L bot and you say, I need that meat shield right now, because the meat shield is basically going to like double your health, which enhances your survivability. And that's what you want to do as best you can in a survival game, especially this survival game. It's freaking wolf spiders, man. They're after you. Number 5. All right, just like I mentioned before, when you're out there grounding, collecting resources, you want to use your mutations properly. Well, you want to do the same thing when you're in combat. And fortunately, now there is a mutation for just about anyone's combat style. I'm going to mention them here. If you're fighting with clubs or maces, you want to use the Barbarian mutation because it'll boost up your attack power with those weapons. In fact, all of these mutations will boost your attack power with the associated weapon. Just like if you're using an axe, you're going to use chopper. I would not recommend it. I would recommend the Barbarian one. The Barbarian one is my top choice, but depending on your playstyle, whatever weapon you like to use, there's a mutation for it. Just like if you're using the hammer, you can get Smasher. And you can just bash them. You can just bash them. And it does, the hammer is actually pretty good because it does daze them. It's really good at dazing them. If you're using the spear or the trident, which are, I know, favored weapons amongst many of the players, well then, you want to use Javelinier. That one. You want to use the Javelin one, and it will boost your attacks. And if you're out there with a dagger, or with the the spider fang dagger, and you're just creeping around, going after all the bugs, you're just out there bug bashing, and you're just like an assassin, well then you want to use the assassin mutation because it will boost your attack power. And then you can jump down on top of the mites with your assassin blade and be like, and then one of the mites will see you and it'll be like, Assassino! Number 4. All right, this is an easy one, but it's an advanced pro tip right here. This is an advanced pro tip, and that is save your axe durability when you're destroying grass husks or stalks or whatever you want to call them. When you're destroying them, don't use your weapons. Just punch them. You can just punch them, and they will break, and then they won't grow back. So that's a good little pro tip there to not waste your weapon or your axe durability when you're trying to clear an area of grass. So just remember that. Number 3. This one involves the BURG.L bot again. You're going to have to go back to the BURG.L bot and you're going to have to save up a lot of raw science, because you will want to, as soon as possible, buy the torch upgrade, the fin flops upgrade, the diving lantern upgrade, the fiber bandage efficiency, canteen upgrade, and the acorn shovel upgrade. Again, this is to improve not only the durability, but the survivability of your tools and yourself. So get those upgrades before you really worry about anything else, unless you really want to build something special. Then get the other stuff. But anyway, moving on. Number 2. So this is one that I don't know if a lot of people know about, or if a lot of people really think about it too much. But that is, you can boost the effects of your smoothies by turning them into smoothie pluses using the mussel sprouts. If you don't know where the mussel sprouts are, well, you can find them down in the pond lab in the observation dome. They grow along the edge of the inside, so you got to go inside the lab, and then you can run along the inside of the dome, and you can collect about 30 per trip. And I believe they respawn every 2 to 3 in-game days, somewhere in that range. But yeah, then you throw 2 smoothies plus one of those mussel sprouts in, and you will get a smoothie plus. The smoothie plus will boost the effect, and it will boost the time of the regular smoothie effect. In this case, I'm showing you what the Workman's Comp smoothie does when you boost it, and when you boost it, you can carry more stems or more planks, and it will last for a period of time. And you can then do that. So don't forget to use the mussel sprouts to boost the effects of your smoothies, and don't forget to farm those down in the pond lab. Number 1. And finally, one of the most useful things that was added with the 7.0 update that carries over into 7.1, and that is Movable pallets. Now, I don't know if this is going to be around forever, so take advantage of while you can. But you can move the pallets with the move function that was added with 7.0. You know, you can move your furniture around now, and you can use that to move pallets. So no longer will you need to run around using ant armor to gather up all these stems or all these planks. You can build a pallet and you can carry it over to wherever you're collecting these things, fill it up, and then carry it back to your base or wherever you're planning to use it. Now, keep in mind that if a enemy attacks you, or if an enemy even gets angry at you, you will immediately lose the carry capability. The move function will end, and whatever you're carrying will go back to wherever it was before. So as you're carrying something like the pallet, if you don't want to lose it when something gets mad at you, just drop it. Drop it so that it sets a new spawn point, I guess, where it will return to if you get an enemy, aggressive against you. If an enemy attacks you, or if an enemy even thinks about attacking you, you will lose the move ability. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to do this. But movable pallets is great. It's better than a sled or something. A lot of people wanted a sled or something to pull more planks or more stems. Well, this move function allows you to fill a whole pallet and carry that around. So it's a really good tip. It's a really good trick. And I really hope that all of these help you all get better at grounded. Hope if you're having trouble, or if you really couldn't figure out what was going on, well, then I hope these tips and tricks were beneficial for you. And there we go, 10 tips and tricks for Grounded Update 7.1. I hope these helped you out, and if they did help you out, well, you could help me out by smashing that like button. It'd be doing me a huge favor, and I'd be really appreciative of it. But if you enjoy the content that I produce here, and you want to see more Grounded-related, Grounded-themed content here on Tiny Pirate Gaming, well, then consider smashing that subscribe button. I really hope this video earned your subscription, and you could ring that little bell and become part of the Tiny Crew, so you'll always be notified whenever I upload a new video here on Tiny Pirate Gaming. You can also come hang out with me and the rest of the Tiny Crew live over on Twitch, which is where I live stream. My schedule's posted in my channel on the banner. And if you ever want to see, other fun stuff about Grounded news, channel news, and other exciting things that I sometimes experience while playing Grounded, well, you can also follow me over on Twitter. That's where I post when I'm going live, or any changes to the schedule or anything like that. So if you want to keep up on channel news about Tiny Pirate Gaming, that's the place to do it. Until I make a Discord. By the way, I should also mention this here in this video. The channel goal is to get to 250 subscribers, and once the Tiny Crew reaches 250 people, I want to make a Discord. I plan to make a Discord for the community to come hang out, and that will become the platform for channel news eventually. But until then, I'm using Twitter. So follow me there if you want to see more of Tiny Pirate Gaming. And if you tuned in this long, you should probably think about following me there, because I post all sorts of fun stuff over on Twitter. And Twitch is really fun. People really like to have fun hanging out my stream, and I would love to see new faces in there. I would love to see some more of my YouTube people, YouTube fans, some more of the Tiny Crew here become part of the Tiny Crew over there. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.
Arg, matey, watch your step. There be a tiny pirate here.